So I just picked up the M1 iPad Air and I'm a little bit excited over this iPad because I think this might tick a lot of the boxes that I've been looking for in a tablet. Hi there everyone, my name's Mike and here at Tech Carmoon I uncover tech and Apple related tech. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you stay notified. So the iPad that I picked up is the base iPad M1 Air. So this one here is the 64GB iPad Air 5th generation Wi-Fi, so no cellular. So this is what you get for around £560. So let's open this up and see what you get. So nice. This should be very familiar to the iPad 4th generation. So you get the instruction manual and any Apple stickers. Yep, so with the space grey model, you get some white Apple stickers. We've also got a USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable. And we've got the UK power plug. So yeah, for those who don't know, yes, I'm in the UK, so our plugs look a little bit different. So let's do the grand reveal. Nice, I've just got some fingerprints on it already, but yeah, looks really good. So right now I have the brightness set to full and we're on dark mode obviously at the moment, but going from the iPad Pro with the mini LED display, you can definitely notice a difference in brightness in my eyes. But in terms of the overall display quality, I would say it feels really good. The animations, even though it's 60 Hz, are still really smooth. I mean, it's something that you're probably used to anyway from, you know, other devices. And for me, even though 120 Hz is preferred, it's definitely not a necessity. In terms of differences between the 5th generation and last year's 4th generation is basically the chip and the front camera. That's it. Everything else is identical. So when it comes to the screen, speakers, camera, well, rear camera, the front camera is obviously a little bit different. So the things that they've improved is having center stage for the front camera, which I think is a nice addition, especially because this is more of a device that you might use for video calls, you know, FaceTime, something like that. You know, it's a little bit bigger. You can see your, you know, sort of friends and family a little bit clearer on something like this than, let's say, on an iPhone. And then the thing that really steals the show is the fact that this has got the M1 chip. So anyone who's used the M1 chip, and I definitely have, from obviously the iPad Pro, the M1 MacBook Airs and Pros, it's a fast chip. Like, there's no denying that it's not fast. It is fast. And it's really impressive that they've managed to put it into the iPad Air considering how thin it is. But realistically, you're not unlocking its full potential compared to using macOS. And anyone that says otherwise, they're just wrong. And I will say that. They are just absolutely wrong. If you want to get the best out of the M1 chip, go grab a MacBook. That's going to be your best bet. But what I think Apple has done here by including the M1 chip in the iPad Air is longevity, and also the capability of allowing more multitasking, because the M1 chip at its base model has 8GB of RAM, which I believe is 2GB more than the previous model. Also, because this has the M1 chip, this is going to last you years into the future, which for a person like me is going to benefit from that a little bit more so than, let's say, the serial iPad changer, right? Because I don't use an iPad for work, as in any professional tasks that I do won't be done on an iPad. I will take notes, I might, you know, draw up some designs for potential photo adverts and, you know, photo video adverts and stuff like that. However, this isn't going to be something that I'm going to be editing photos on, editing videos on. I'm not an artist either, but I will leave a link down in the description below to a fantastic graphic designer who uses iPads. And I think that if you are someone who does that kind of work, then you should definitely check out his channel. Now, do I think that this iPad is anything special? Well, Obviously, I'm going to have to try it out and see and give it a chance. Obviously, there's not that much change compared to last year's model. So the only real thing is testing out the M1 chip, which, to be fair, I've already done in the iPad Pro, so I can kind of get a sense of how this thing will perform, but it's, I guess, the overall package, you know, the fact that it doesn't have that ProMotion display, or on the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, the fact that it doesn't have the mini LED display. The only thing I will say is I want to see if this is actually worth your money, because the base model of the iPad Air only has 64 gigabytes of memory, and just to let you know, out of the box, you only get 50 gigabytes of usable space. So already 14 gigabytes of memory is used, you know, for OS and, you know, obviously the pre-installed apps. So before you do anything, you're already down on space. So if you know that your apps and potentially photos that you may store in this and that you might not store in the cloud goes up to 50 gigabytes, then you might be fine with this. However, yeah, I think for a lot of us, 64 gigabytes is just not going to be enough. And when you bump up to the 256 gigabytes of usable storage space, it's great, lots of memory. However, you're now knocking at the price point of the base model M1 iPad Pro, which has got Thunderbolt, which has got better rear cameras, which has got a slightly larger screen, a slightly brighter screen as well. And of course, let's not forget, you get that ProMotion display on top of that, which is going to be a little bit better for animations, and it's obviously going to be much better for visual graphic artists. So I'm going to be putting this thing through its paces. I'm hoping that this will be the iPad that I'm actually going to use mainly, because I just love this small form factor. The 12.9-inch was just far too big for me. However, this sort of size might be just right. So if you want to watch the full review, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you guys stay updated. But anyway, look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.